Hey guys, YouTube, or anyone else. I had this amazing question today from Paria, and she said, why is it so easy for us to have so much energy in the bottom three chakras? And we need to liberate energy and shoot up energy and do breath work to move the energy to the top. So why is it easy? What are the bottom three energy centers? And why is it that it's easier, or we're sort of inherited energies there that now it is our responsibility to liberate ourselves from and heal ourselves from and move the energy from? Why? What is up with that? What is this? What is up with this story? So I'm going to keep it short, hopefully. What are the bottom three energy centers? It is the sexual energy, digestive energy, and the ego, the judgment, the survival, the pessimist in us, right? Those are the three energy centers. Why do we come loaded with those, but there's no ammo at the top? For most of us, anyway. We have to realize that a lot of the times, the programs and the genetic games that our ancestors have played, we inherit those, right? So let's look at the sexual. Let's look at number one energy center. Number one energy center is the sexual lust. If sex was not so unbelievably amazing, humans would not exist. Humans would not exist at the scale they do now. There's a reason why sex is so cool, right? And the religions and spiritual people and wise people are always telling people, please keep sex sacred. It is sacred, so that we can then have families, and then we can have, so there's this regulation that we try to impose that allows us to be able to enjoy, the sexual intercourse, and at the same time take all the benefits of it and not the demise from what can be considered a hookup culture these days. Hookup culture is disgusting. It's horrible for people. It's not only spiritually a disaster move, but it is also physically dangerous. You're bonding to people. There's all these things that happen when you partake into hookup culture. Every person that a female, for example, has been with, that person's DNA is in her head. I don't know why they found that out in a study. They found that out from some cats. And then they went ahead and they did the studies in it, that if a female has had, 10 sexual partners, there are 10 different DNAs in her, and traces of those 10 DNAs can be found in her offspring. It's not good. That's not good spiritually. That's not good literally and physically. So anyway, that's number one. And because sex is such a vital part of our existence and moving the species forward, it is something that we inherit from our ancestors. Let's go to number two, energy center number two, digestive. Obviously we need that. That's a given. I'm not going to explain that one. We need digestive energies. So that's number two. We inherit that. You want to be able to relax, have that fight or flight response turned off so you can digest food. Number three, that's where the ego comes in. The coping mechanism comes in. The survival instincts come in. We inherit those too. Why? Because it was smarter and wiser to be a pessimist. You survived more often if you were a pessimist than if you were not. And I'll give that with one example. That if you heard a rustle into the grass in the savannas, and you thought it was a lion and you backed away and you went somewhere else, you survived more often than if you thought, it's probably a breeze or a squirrel, right? You probably survived a lot less often. Now, people that were always very careful, you know, there were some, risk takers, brave people, whatever, but more brave people died than people that were scared of taking risks. Unfortunately, or fortunately, doesn't matter, depending on how you think. But being a pessimist, and ego wants you to live. Ego doesn't want you to torture yourself. What is the most destructive thing that ego does? It brings other people down. It takes the blame away from you and puts it on other people. I'm not abundant because of taxes and my mean neighbors and mean family, and my partner or spouse doesn't love me enough, or they don't do what I want them to do. My kids don't appreciate what I do for them. My boss doesn't appreciate my hard work. All this stuff, my enemies, my exes, and it's just, ego's job is to liberate you somehow so that you don't blame yourself, you don't end up hurting yourself. Because the job of an ego is to keep you living. That's all the job of it is, right? To protect you. It's a coping mechanism. So imagine if you were born in a prison, right? Your mom is supposed to be in the prison for the rest of her life. And when she got into the prison, she was pregnant. And you were born there, and now you're raised there. Your ego doesn't want you to leave the prison. The ego's like, hey, we're surviving here. We're safe here. We're getting fed here. We have a bed. We don't pay rent. We don't pay utilities. We don't pay for food. Everything is right here. We don't need to go anywhere. And you know how that just keeps you locked in to this mediocrity? The lowest form of stability that the ego can find, it wants you to just stay right there. It doesn't care about you thriving and taking risks. I hope the voice is clear. Let me come closer, because I forgot to put the mic on. Damn it. So, hopefully the voice is clear. So why is the energy so strong that it takes so long in the bottom three? But see, the problem with the bottom three also is that it keeps you in low vibrational frequency. Keeps you in this animalistic, primitive form. It doesn't allow you to evolve until you liberate that energy out of you. And you push that energy up to what is considered a luxury in this modern times, because most people don't feel infinite love out of nowhere. Most people don't feel this overjoyed personality. How many people do you run into every day that are just overjoyed all the time, that are just blessing you because they can't contain how happy they are? How many of those people do you run into? Probably not many. And I'm creating a community here where we can expand the community and wake people up. The amount of people that reached out to me and said that they have never meditated more than 15 to 30 minutes, and now they're meditating for hours and hours and hours a day, and they're feeling the benefit of liberated energy, and they're healing themselves. And they're so close to mystical experiences because they just feel so just overloved and joyed throughout the day. They feel like they're dancing through their days. It's unbelievable. So we inherit things that are stuck within our lower chakras. We don't inherit the energies at the top. Now, some of us do. Some of us were raised abundant, right? Some of us do, but most of us don't, right? Most of us are, come from families where I can't afford this, I can't have this, you're not good enough, you're just like your mother or father, or just like these negative things that people hear most of the time gets just stuck into you. When you grow up when you're a child, it even solidifies itself even further down. You can't have that. You can't afford that. You're not rich. You're not abundant. You can't do that. And then what it does is it sort of stresses you out about everything else. What is stress? Lowering of frequency. What does lowering of frequency do? It makes you sick. And there's a downward spiral and there's an upward spiral. I'm attempting to create an upward spiral for people. But there's a downward spiral that is very easy to get into, fall into. It's a quicksand that you just drop into. That is why, if it ever crosses your mind why you have so much energy stuck into your lower chakras than upper chakras, because upper chakra is just too much fun. It's too much blissful. How many people do you see that are high on life out there? Not many. And what are they doing? They're stuffing their lower energy centers with crap. And then they make babies afterwards. And now those babies inherit all those low vibrational energies. And some people, sometime in your life, you'll see, that are high on life, that are in awe of life. Sometimes you only see them on YouTube and on TV. You don't actually see them in person at all. Those are the people that when they make babies, those babies have an upper advantage now. They live in abundance. They live wholesome. Most people don't. I hope this helps. I love you.